Is Call of Duty Black Ops 6 worth your money? Let's talk about it. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is an interesting game. I want to break down the game as much as possible, so I'll be talking about the campaign first, followed by the zombies, and then lastly the multiplayer. So let's get into it. Starting with, like I said, the campaign. I found myself enjoying the campaign. I thought that the story was interesting, and it definitely did keep my attention. I really like the James Bond type missions that the game gives you and how cinematic everything feels. I also really liked some of the open world maps that the game had. The side objectives were a neat idea, and locating all of the safes that you could open up in the game definitely adds some replayability to the campaign. However, it's nothing new to the series. I can't help but look back at previous games and wish that they just added a little bit more to this one. I do find it a little upsetting that this game only has one ending, mostly because the game has elements that hint at possibilities of more endings. The game also gives the player options for dialogue and choices to pick throughout the missions, although it doesn't seem like it adds to anything other than slight little changes to the mission that you're on currently. Also, with the main character that you play as through the campaign, the game hints at a very big secret involving this character, however, it doesn't really execute it successfully. It felt like there was a lot more that the game was hiding from us that it just didn't give to us, and that's where the multiple endings come into play that I was hoping this game would have. The campaign, however, isn't that bad. It's definitely one of the better COD campaigns, definitely better than the last Call of Duty campaign, that's for certain. It's not bad at all by any means, but I just wish there was a little bit more. I did enjoy my time with the campaign, but I just don't see myself coming back to this campaign and replaying it like I did with other Call of Duty games. Next, let's talk about the zombies. This time around, we got 2 zombie maps to start, with more coming down the line. Zombies mode has been a mode that desperately has been in need for some love, as the last zombies mode that I can recall from Modern Warfare 3 was pretty upsetting, and it's not that bad. That round-to-round zombies is back, and it's as fun as it was when it was first introduced in World at War. You are also now able to save and reload mid-zombie match, if you are playing solo, that is. So that means if you are playing a game and you're far along in the game, and you have to step away for whatever reason, you can now save and come back whenever you want. And I loved this idea. I actually think this was a great addition to the zombies mode. Being able to come back at any point and not having to worry about life getting in your way is really nice. Also, the classic Easter eggs make a return with plenty of them this time around. So players who loved hunting down the Easter eggs and trying to solve them, well, that's all back here for you. I was a little worried coming in, as the game does have waypoints kind of leading you along the way. However, the waypoints only lead you towards the Pack-a-Punch. They don't lead you towards the Easter egg, so in order for you to find the Easter egg and complete the Easter egg, you have to discover it on your own. However, there's a couple of new additions to the zombies mode that I'm not the biggest fan of. One being you can no longer repair any windows, any doors, any walls. There's nothing to repair now. I do find that a little weird. Why remove that? It didn't really add too much, I understand that, but at the same time, it did add a little bit for the players that struggled and just wanted to find ways to hold off the waves a little longer. And second, now you're able to start with whatever weapon you want, similar to how the multiplayer works. The way it works now is that the weapons are tier-based, meaning yes, you can start with whatever weapon you want, but it will start at the same level that a pistol would start at. Meaning that you would have to upgrade the gun or find higher tiered guns along your playthrough, which would ultimately do more damage and be able to sustain you for longer rounds. In theory, the idea solves the problem and allows players to use whatever loadout they wish. However, in execution, I found that it just didn't really work as intended, as the starting loadout is just useless. I found myself just rushing the mystery box and getting that right off the bat. And now that weapons are based off of tier lists, I don't find a reason to pick up anything off the wall. Most weapons on the wall are green or blue, meaning that if you want to have a gold gun, you would have to find it either from the mystery box or you would have to upgrade your gun. Ultimately, I just think the old system worked better. It rewarded players for hunting down new weapons and finding new weapons while they waited for the mystery box, or while they were hunting for the mystery box. Now, all I do is I kill enough zombies until I have enough points and money for the mystery box, and I go straight for it. No point for wall weapons, no point for anything else. It just seems like they try to please everyone with this method, but I just didn't like it ultimately. Something new that they did add though that I do like is the health bars on the enemies. I also thought I wasn't going to like this and I thought it was going to annoy me, but it didn't, and I actually thought it felt rewarding shooting down zombies and watching the health bar drop, and even seeing how fast I could kill boss zombies when I had stronger weapons. It was rewarding. It made zombies feel a little bit more like Destiny. And I have to also say, the wonder weapons are great. The new ones that they added are fantastic to use. The Alien Blaster is as fun as it always was. And some of the new abilities you're able to use are also really good additions. I enjoyed it and I thought it was great. There's a lot of fun to be had with zombies, but I just don't think it adds anything new to the formula. It's the same old zombies that you love and know. And now, and most importantly, the multiplayer. And this is where the game truly shines. It's fast-paced, it's rewarding, it's fun to just run around, dive, jump, slide, shoot your enemies in any which way you want. You can execute your enemies, you can hold them, and talk to your enemies if you want. There's so much that you can do in this game. There are 16 maps that you can play on, with 12 of them being in the main game modes, and 4 of them being locked to the gunfight mode. I did enjoy a lot of the maps in this game. A lot of the maps, however, are on the smaller side, so SMG users will probably have a lot more easier time in this game than AR users or snipers. But there are maps with long runways that make it great for snipers and assault rifle users. I love assault rifles, that's my main weapon, so that's what I mostly use in the online, and I didn't have a bad time with it. But I did want to also add, I did find that some of the maps and game modes just don't work together. For example, my first game of Search and Destroy was on Babylon. Now, if you don't know what Babylon is, it's essentially just a square that you fight in. It is very small, very tight, and it just doesn't work for Search and Destroy. It's just kind of weird that they would even put this in the queue for Search and Destroy. I do like the map Babylon, but it just doesn't fit at all for this game mode. Also, kill streaks make a return, and they're just as fun as they ever were. There's a lot of new kill streaks in this game that I loved. One being the guided rocket launcher. I loved using this thing, shooting it up in the sky and flying it around and crashing it into players and exploding, getting double kills sometimes. It was just so much fun to use. I loved grinding in this game as well. The grind in the multiplayer is just fun. It's just mindless, entertaining fun. I found myself hunting for skins for weapons, hunting for attachments, leveling my character up. There's just always something to reward you in this game, and it's great. Also, Omni movement is just as fun as it was in the beta, if not a little bit more. I love Omni movement. I'm a huge fan of it. I think it's a welcoming place in Call of Duty, and it's a staple that should probably stay in Call of Duty. It is fast-paced, but it's not as fast-paced as it once was. It's not as annoying as enemies wall running or flying in the air and jetpacking around. The worst that an enemy could do is dive, and mostly it's kind of easy to shoot someone when they're diving. Sliding around also adds a way for you to be able to slide between cover and cover, trying to dodge enemy bullets while you get closer into range if you have a submachine gun or a shotgun, making those weapons a lot more viable to use in this game. I've seen so many people running around with shotguns, running around with SMGs, and it's been working. I can only imagine what players are going to be doing with the Omni movement when they have knives out. It's going to start getting deadly out there, and I'm excited to see it. So, I guess when it comes down to is this game worth your money, it all depends on what you're looking for out of this game. If you're a single player gamer, then I don't think this game is worth the money. It is fun, yes, but the campaign ultimately isn't anything new. And if you've played other Call of Duty campaigns, you're not really missing much out of this one. If you only care for zombies, I do think it is worth getting, but maybe at a discount. But that may change to worth buying once more zombie maps get added, as there's only currently 2. And lastly, if you're a multiplayer gamer, then yes, I do think it's worth buying. The online is a lot of fun, it's competitive, and it has so much to do that you'll always find yourself working towards some sort of upgrade. So with all of that being said, what are my final thoughts on the game, and what would I score it? Alright, as always, we'll start with the graphics. The game looks good. Not much to complain when it comes to the graphics. Over to the story. The story is enjoyable. Not much replayability in the campaign. And the story doesn't fully resolve all plot points. Next to the gameplay, the classic COD gameplay returns. Omni movement is a lot of fun. Tons of things to work towards and unlock. Now next is the performance. The game crashed on me at least once a day. Some of my friends had a lot of issues trying to even play the game. Overall, the performance is hit or miss. Next, onto the music. The music in this game is great, and the gun sounds are super intense. Overall, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 gets a 4 out of 5. And that's my review. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment down below if you're interested in Call of Duty Black Ops 6 or if you've played it. I'd love to know your thoughts. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you like this content and want to see more like it in the near future. I've been streaming a lot more on Twitch, and I've been streaming my review process, so if you're interested in how that goes, come on over. Thanks again for watching my video. I've been FlameTP, and I'll see you all next time.